'Cause after midnight. Hello, my name is Vero, this is Vero Reads, and today I want to give another Victober update. It's been a while since my last, well, it's not, maybe like a couple of weeks, but I haven't posted a video since my last update. Even though I had so many cool things I wanted to do, but I'm very busy, unfortunately. So this will just be a very quick update on how my reading is going. Another reason why I haven't posted much is because I fell into a big, what I call a reading limbo, which is when you really, really want to read, and you do read. It's not like a reading slump. Because in a reading slump, I don't read. I just don't read. I don't pick up a book. I don't do anything. A reading limbo is when I start 5, 6, 7 books. I start all of them and I just keep picking up books and start new books. I think I've started around 7 books, and I think 4 or 5 are in my now currently read pile, which I was doing so well on. But anyway, talking about the Victober update, one of the books I started, fortunately, is for Victober, and it is the Moonstone. I literally thought I was not gonna read the Moonstone for Victober. It was in my TBR. But I literally thought as if I'll be reading the Moonstone. But yeah, I just, again, in my reading limbo, I was just picking up random books, and one of the random books was the Moonstone, and I was like, oh, that's actually nice. And thankfully, I have a copy of it, because I did buy a copy for Victober. I have a physical copy of it. I have an ebook copy of it because it's free, because it's public domain. And I have a LibriVox download. The LibriVox is this website affiliated with the Project Gutenberg, where volunteers read out public domain books. So it's usually classics. So you can find a lot of audiobooks of classics on LibriVox for completely for free. You can download the MP3 on your phone. I think they have an app or a website, but it's not super great. I would really recommend just downloading the MP3. So it's not professional readers, but 9 times out of 10 they are as good as a lot of audiobook narrators from paid publishing houses. I would highly recommend LibriVox. So I have the physical copy, the audiobook, and the ebook. That's been really helpful, and I really recommend it, because with books this big, I really need to go back and forth between audio, ebook, physical, and especially what I tend to do is listen to the audiobook narration whilst I am physically reading the words on the page. It might be a English is a second language thing. It might just be this is a very thick book, and that keeps me engaged. But especially when getting into a novel, that's really helpful. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I really like Wilkie Collins. I was very worried. I mean, I am still worried because there's a lot to go. I was very worried because, again, it talks a lot about the British colonization of India, and I was worried there was gonna be a very, very racist book. It's not so far, but I'm only 97 pages in. So far, so good. There's commentary on racism, but it's not racist yet. I'm really hoping. Wilkie Collins, come on. Because Wilkie Collins can be so progressive. Like The Woman in White. Wow. But yeah, really, really thoroughly enjoying this. I will talk about it more once I finish it, but I'm really enjoying this. Then, The Basket Woman and Other Stories by Maria Edgeworth. Not even how cute this book is. is saving it from being extremely boring. This is clearly meant as cautionary tales, instruction stories for children, and it's very pedantic. It's boring. It's very boring. And I'm sorry to say that, because I was really looking forward to like reading from this tiny book that I love so much, but it's this short. Like, it's so freaking short and it's so freaking tiny, and I'm having such a hard time finishing it because it's so boring. Maybe it's just not my genre, but oh my god. So yeah, I'm still reading this, and every time I go and pick it up, I'm like, oh, but it was so boring. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna DNF it because it's so freaking short. That, come on. But who knows? I might. Then I'm still reading The Doctor's Wife. Have I made any progress? No, absolutely not. Am I looking forward to reading it? Yes. That might be a problem, because as we've established in previous videos, when I really enjoy a book, I don't want to read it because then it will end. And I'm really sorry to have missed the read along, like reading along chapters, because I was hoping that would keep me on track, but again, I was just too busy. It was right at that moment where I was not reading anything because it was too busy at work. So I'm still there, but I'm still really looking forward to it, and I'm guessing that a lot of the Victober creators that I'm following will start talking about this soon, and I will probably hear a lot of various opinions on each individual wrap-up of their Victober readings. So I'm looking forward to that, in order for that to hopefully motivate me to pick it up again. Also, I finished listening to A Study in Scarlet. It's always great. I think I really don't like a murder mystery, but I really like a detective novel. So I think that's where I'm at. I want to explore that a bit more in my head and with people I know. I want to talk about the nuance between murder mystery and detective novel, and figure out if they're two separate things in my brain, or if it's just the same thing, but I just haven't found a murder mystery that's as good as a detective novel that I've read so far. But anyway, I finished A Study in Scarlet. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I finished it, and I was this close to starting it again. Because that's another thing I do. I consume a media, and then I started from the top because I love it so much. But I didn't. Because I started listening to The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, the short story collection. I listened to A Scandal in Bohemia. Again, very nice, so cool. And whilst all of this is going on, I'm rewatching Sherlock. That masochistic on my part. That's masochistic. But I really like how they take the original Sherlock Holmes storylines and cases and redress them. I love that. Everything else, it's a struggle. But then we have Andrew Scott as Jim Moriarty, so who cares? Was that a spoiler? Listen, if you haven't watched Sherlock so far, don't. It's not worth it. And it's been a long time, so either you've been through the trenches or you shouldn't, like, save yourself. But I'm rewatching it at the same time as I'm listening to the Sherlock Holmes audiobooks. And on Audrey, which is this app that it's such a cool concept. Basically, you download an audiobook. So there's classic audiobook, there's the narrator, etc. But in between the chapters or at certain points of the story, you have a guide, like a literary theory, literary criticism, behind the scenes expert that analyzes the story with you. So it points out some behind the scenes, maybe some comments that the author made. It analyzes certain characters, certain themes, certain motifs of the story. It's basically like being in an English class, which sounds boring, but it's not. It's so cool. I mean, okay, so if somebody's watching a Victober video from somebody who's like has like 30 subscribers, you're a fan of English class lessons, so this will entice you. And it's so cool. And I'm thinking of buying The Hound of the Baskervilles because it's just a cool thing. And I'm in a Sherlock Holmes mood, and like November is coming, and then November to me is a very like detective novel, gothic, and The Hound of the Baskervilles, like, come on. So yeah, that's a plan. And then bonus, I just want to show you what I bought. I bought this tiny, like, oh, it's just on one side. Oh, I wonder what, does anybody know? Is this like vandalism or was this purposeful? But yeah, this is a copy of Shirley by Charlotte Bronte, or Bronte, I don't know English. And I got it in a charity shop. Because this disappointed me so much, and I'm probably gonna re-donate it to a charity shop, I just wanted to have another very tiny, this is what I call Bible edition of classics, which I love because again they're so portable, they're so cute. I haven't read Shirley yet. I'm not gonna read it for Victober, but it is a Victorian book, so I just wanted to share that I got this very nice edition of Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. So cute. Can you imagine if there was just a massive spoiler there and somebody's in the middle, is like 2 chapters ahead? Can you imagine? But yeah, so I just wanted to share that I got this really good, really nice edition. So these are my updates. Nothing much else to report. I'm reading more than I expected, but I'm not reading as much as I'd like. I mean, I say that. There's also a bunch of books that I'm reading for Black History Month. It's Black History Month in the UK. I have filmed a video about that, but then work got in the way. I'm reading all of these. I'm listening to Sherlock Holmes audiobooks, and I have a whole bunch of books for Black History Month that I'm reading. So that's when I say reading limbo, because these are all started and currently reading, and this is all on top of my currently reading pile. And that's not counting the library books that have started coming in. And that's not counting the Nat Galley arcs that I just requested, because again, when I'm in a reading limbo, I make very bad decisions, and then now I have 4 Nat Galley arcs that I have to read. Cheers. Oh. So yeah, I'm calm, I'm collected. I need to go to work now. Thank you so much for listening. I know this was a very short update, but I hope it was still entertaining. I hope my frenzy and panic are engaging to you. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.